This Hangout on Air is live. It is Friday, January 11th, 2019. Rolling deep into 2019 already, huh, Missy Jenn?
Yeah.
Time does fly. You better make the most of it.
Fast and furious.
Yes, right. Tempest fugit. Time flies. You better make the most of it. That's for darn sure. And I hope all of you are having your Friday off to a good start and your weekend. Good morning, Uber Goober lady.
Good morning, Uber Goober.
I lift my coffee cup to you, beautiful lady, and wish you a happy Friday.
Hello, Mouse Toes.
Mouse Toes, good morning to you, sweetheart. How are you? And George says good morning. Happy Friday. George says Friday, Saturday, it's like happy days. Monday, Tuesday, happy days. They're all the same to him. All the same to Georgie boy. Georgie? Some people roll in here. We're just enjoying our morning coffee. I'm very happy to report probably the best night's sleep I had last night. Finally, switching over to the Naperson was just a awesome quality of life improver. Look at Missy Jenn smiling. Snickerdoodle. Thank you, Missy, Dr. Jenn, Dr. Missy Jenn. Took that. Hey, Allie B. Good morning to you. Good morning, just well.
Hi, Allie.
Pain is much better. Good morning, Vicky Victoria. Special cheers to you, me love. Happy Friday to you. Nice to see you.
Hope you're feeling better, Allie. You've been going through hell lately with
Allie B.
fibromyalgia and all the problems.
Yeah, Uber, I'm going to check that out. Cassidy, good morning to you, beautiful. Hope you were doing well. Everybody's in here on the AM.
Hello, Vicky.
I have a lot to be grateful for. Even with Missy Jenn and her battling her MS, I have a lot to be grateful for, that I do enjoy good health, and I don't take that for granted. And I'm very happy to be as supportive as I can to I'll check into that Uber Goober lady. To be as supportive as I can and always be mind aware of what goes on with other people. You know, we tend to look down on people if they're not big content creators and they're not out there with their implanted their face in front of the cameras and you know, behind avatars. But the reality is we really don't know a lot about what goes on in people's lives. And the pains and the struggles they deal with. And the fact that they use YouTube for fun and enjoyment and for escape, and not to be used as a source for harassment, belittlement, and you know, just plain spreading of ill will. Linda Francine, the big snow finally hits. Linda Francine's replaying Little House on the Prairie, the blizzard scene out there.
That's right.
Hey, Steph.
The big storm is coming to it. It's supposed to be rain, and then now some of it is turned into a big snowstorm. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, in my life and Missy Jenn's life, some of the people that have been the most wonderful to us are people we've never seen their face. We have no idea about who they really are, but with their kindness and with their nature. And the fact that they maintain perfect anonymity and they could be hellraisers to the 10th degree. They're some of the nicest people on planet Earth. That's why you started your channel, Allie B. Right. this is a great place for escapism. It's a great place to see people that are dumb enough like me to put their daily life up on YouTube, and it is like programming. It is like Jen has always said, it's like the television show that never ends. Every day it's just a new chapter. And there's always something new to see. And then we get to the question always is it scripted? In other words, do all of us principals, and I use myself principal in quotation, do all of us big shots? I shouldn't laugh. I still have some pain. But if you can't laugh at yourself, us big wheels, it's almost like some people believe once a week we get into a big conference room. We rent a big conference room down in Television City in Los Angeles and all pile in there and say, well, who's going to be the monkey in the middle this month? Doesn't work like that. It does. Thank you, Cassidy. It doesn't work like that. Because you know what? People are smarter than that. And when people on YouTube start to get the idea that something is cooked up or something is contrived or there's some script being written, they're out. They don't need that nonsense. They can go back to True TV and TMZ and all the other places. I think many of you would agree with that. There's something very nice and something very watchable about organic theater, and that's what I call this, organic theater on YouTube, that just unfolds in directions that you never imagined in a million years. People change. I've been here 6 years. Missy Jenn's been around for 10 years.
At least.
At least.
At least 10 years.
Yeah, Buddy Holly said, nobody could make this shit up. That's right. That's what makes it so watchable. Nobody could ever imagine that a young lady would be stricken with cancer. And yet another person, uber goober lady, would pick up that cause and run with it. And Diane, ladies' night. Nobody scripted that out. Nobody scripted the counter, all the counter fiascos that came about. It's all people engaging, all people with an opinion about things. But yet, out of that total brew, something new arises. Good morning to you, Kevin Chambers, down in the great state of Texas. That's what I found so fascinating about YouTube when I joined. I never had an idea when I started uploading that first day on January 3rd, 2013. I had no idea. Nor do most people, whether you'll be around next month, next year, 5 years from now, where your life will go. To me, that's the beauty of it. And people have to realize, and eventually people do, that none of it's scripted, because people won't tolerate scripted, what would you call soap operas? Because they can turn on the TV and watch The Young and the Restless, General Hospital. They can watch that stuff day in and day out. Yeah, it's okay, Linda. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Sister Earth.
Good morning, Sister Earth.
Linda Francine, you're one of the most respected members of this community. precisely because of your independent viewpoint in nature and your unwillingness to hop into the stew pot here. But you're a very astute observer of what happens on the outside. This has been, yeah, you don't get sucked into the mob. That's exactly right. And there's mobs on all sides. There's always like the armed forces recruiting stations out there on YouTube that are always looking to induct people. And you get friendly with people, and it's a wonderful thing. And you do have people. Good morning, Polly.
Hello, Polly.
You do have people that you genuinely enjoy hanging out with, and friends that you make, and it bleeds over to real life. You know, the Linda Francines, the Cassidys, the Sister Earths, the people that have been rolling with you for years. But sometimes, thank you, Snickerdoodle, we love you too. But sometimes you can get twisted into a pretzel. Which brings me to the first point of this morning's coffee time with Missy Jenn, Georgie, and all you cool cats. Is you can get yourself twisted into a pretzel. You can try to accommodate so many people, and you can try to twist yourself into so many different shapes to try to make everybody happy. It's almost like that goofy game of Twister, where you lay down the plastic mat and it has all the different colors, balls on it. And then you spin the dial when it's your turn, and it tells you what color to put your hand or foot on. And before you know it, you have 4 or 5 people twisted underneath of each other and over top of each other. And then the whole damn thing just ends up collapsing, and everybody laughs. And as some people always suggest, Rosie, play naked twister. I don't want your butt in my face. I love it. I'm just saying, right? Let's call it a panty twister. That's good enough for me. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Hey, Shannon.
Hello, Shannon.
And then after a while you're engaged in this, you feel yourself so twisted up like a pretzel that you actually have to take time to think of every one of your moves as if it's a chess game. You got to think ahead. If I do this, might be check. If I move this, it might be checkmate. Let's see. I'm going to lose 3 friends or three supporters if I move my knight to king's position 3. Good morning, Cajun Kev. Good morning, Alan W. And before you know it, you just take the whole chessboard and you just upend it. Because you know you're playing a mug's game. Thank you, Sheila. Let's call it the fine painkillers I've been on have raised my level of articulation to almost Pentecostal levels. Dory Lynn, you never lose our heart, honey. And you've watched some of the crazy shit I've done on here for 6 years. This week I had to untwist the pretzel. I had to make some very hard decisions this past week. But the one thing that came out of it all, when people make claims and counterclaims, and in talking to Missy Jenn, because I confide in her, and although she doesn't ever talk a lot on here. Good morning, Dungeons of Shame. She has a lot of opinions about stuff, and she has a lot of wisdom. Because sometimes the people that just sit back and don't say anything have the most wisdom to dispense. Hey, Street Life. Now, I love my friends, street life. I'm gonna, this really has nothing to do with. This has to do with, you know, respect cuts a lot of different ways. And I love my friends dearly, and my friends are bigger than all of this stuff this week. But what I'm saying is, when people roll through and they make claims, this, and some of the most famous ones, a troll account will appear on the side chat, and the troll will start spewing some very negative things. And our first inclination is, wow, there's a couple of thoughts that come into our mind. Number one is, wow, that's some really bad stuff. And number two, our next thought is, I wonder who in the hell that really is. Right? Don't we all do that? We see a troll name come along, and we wonder who that is. Because inevitably the troll person comes in and they know everything that's going on. They'll say, hey, I just got here, but X did.
Hey, Tony and The Rock. Nice to see
Rosie's
you.
a shit, blah, blah, blah. They know everything that went on. And our inclination, yes, I sure remember you, Alan W. You came upon Missy Jenn and I at the hotel in San Diego. Right. Yeah. And you saw two luscious ladies in their bikinis there. Well, let me tell you what, Alan W. The next time's going to be an even better view. It's nice to see you back. Good morning, Pam. Boy, do I remember you guys. The Rock and Tony. Some more of the totally handsome men that dominate YouTube here. As I was saying, now, when the troll comes in, we all, and let's face it, trolls are funny as fuck. I mean, let's be real. These people that whine, oh, the trolls are terrible. The trolls, YouTube's got to do something about the trolls. The trolls, I can't take the trolls. Rosie, you must go crazy. You must want to pop your wig some days. The trolls. The trolls. Yeah, it's nice to see you back, Alan. But in reality, they had a lot of flavor. They're also a mouthpiece of reality sometimes, and they'll often say the things that others won't say. Or people that you do know won't say under their real name. They'll adopt a troll name. So our inclination is, when something terrible comes down, Polly, it's all good. And we spend our time figuring out who that is. Of course, we can never really know who it is, but in our mind, we'll take our greatest arch enemy, our agitator in chief, and we will assign that person as that troll. And then the next derivative of that comes about. Once that person is being antagonized, the troll points a finger and says, that's XYZ, and here's what they did to me. What we never have is the linkage of proof in there. We never have the linkage of proof. I get that, Sean. I get that. I get that, Sean. The Brit says, Rosie, I'm feeling good, Fitz. Nice to see you. And Slip Kid, Domino's Pizza, Sean, the Brit says, I have nothing against you. I've spent many an afternoon laughing with you and TTS, but your constant attempt to humanize Bergs and elbows makes me sick. These two alone are disgusting lowlifes. And here's somebody that comes out and honestly shares their opinion in person with me. And I've met Sean in real life, and he's a stand-up guy. But see, Sean, where we differ is that I look beyond the surface way that these people present themselves on YouTube. I have one advantage or disadvantage, you may say, over you, is that I spend either a lot of time on the phone with these people, as in this isn't the case with Bergs, or I've met the person in real life many times, like Marshall. And in these people, I see this gigantic chasm, this gigantic canyon. The way that they present themselves on YouTube and the way that they are off of YouTube. And call it a character flaw on my part, call it a weakness in my nature. I'm always trying to bridge those two together. Always trying to close that canyon and get these people to adopt a better presence on YouTube. Now, in the case of Elvis, I'm sorry, his stature is much improved, though. He might still be doing the e-banging, but compared to the horrific stuff of 2 and 3 years ago, it's different. Bergs himself has learned a tough lesson with the hashtag unsub T-Bergs. I mean, YouTube has its own brand of justice. Okay, take care, Kevin Chambers. This is the way I feel about these people. That I just cannot, turn my back on them. And I just continue to engage them and continue to try to mold them into, more positive forces. Not that I set myself that task. It's just if they're around, I try to do it. If they're not around, I don't think about it. I don't think about it a lot. See, Miss Paduina says if they present themselves on YouTube as offensive and aggressive against women, your friendship with them is a form of validation, and they continue. I've continuously called out that behavior as it's occurred, Mrs. Paduina, whether it's with Lars Hope or whether it's with Oda Mae Brown. I always take the opportunity to call out that behavior. So there's no validation there at all, but there will be continued contact and interaction with these people. Vicky, you're a beautiful person. I don't know why you would ever be moved by anything anybody says. Says every time one of your friends sees me on the hang-out, he makes rude comments about my age and my looks. He says I should post a real picture. I got a lot of your real pictures. I've shown Jen you're a beautiful woman. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. If I don't believe in guilt by association. That's true, Fitz. I don't believe in guilt by association either. I don't do that card. I take each person on a one-to-one basis, untwisting the pretzel. Sean the Brit, that's why we like you so much. Because you have a strong voice, you're opinionated, and you say exactly what you feel. Straight up, no hedging, no equivocation, no ambivalence whatsoever. Just 100%. And I definitely admire that about you. Kitten Cat said, do you think it's a good idea to keep introducing Elvis to more women? Today he's talking about another sucker he's lining up. Is this not a concern? I really don't know what else he's got teed up. Kitten cat. I do know that he's a prime target for catfishing. You know? I mean, let's face it. Anybody with a YouTube profile, any female, a la Lacey Rocks, that has a good image and avatar, can have Elvis dancing all over the state of Florida, burning hundreds of gallons of gasoline for meetups. No, Sambo, I'm not drinking alcohol. Thank you, Alan. Let's stay in touch, Alan. Vicky said, but like you said, also, we get on hangouts to have fun and take our minds off of hard times. Yeah, thank you, Sean. And thank you for being such a thank you for being such a good friend.
Have a great day.
I don't think he's leaving. He's just making a comment.
Thank you.
Yeah, like Hipster, I kind of want to catfish Elvis. I mean, she's perfect bait, right? You know, Elvis, I had a change of heart, you know. I need a bit of the Assyrian king. Let's meet up down in Key West. Well, I don't know, Hipster Heaven. I'm going to have to drive 240 miles. That's going to be a gasoline. But Elvis, think of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I don't know who's. I don't know who the latest. You know, Kit Kat. Let's talk about Laura a little bit. Laura's Hope. I mean, a lot of people in the drama community were. Yeah, true Hipster Heaven. Laura's Hope. A lot of people wondered where she came from on here. Well, she'd been on this channel for months. It's just certain people we all tend to have and enjoy you enjoy your confidentiality and your anonymity on YouTube. So, you know, beyond that though, I don't think any of us have any control over somebody independently, female or a male, that reaches out to somebody and says, hey, I've seen your stick. I'm a nice Christian woman. I'd like to get together and, yeah, I'll meet you. I mean, how can we control something like that? You know, we have meeting places where sometimes 200, 300, 400 people come to these hangouts. We don't know who does what. I mean, who wouldn't want to meet Hipster? I mean, if Hipster reached out to me and says, Rosie, you're so fascinating. I'm just taken with you. I'm putting it in gear, right? Yeah, Sambo, there's that fucking curtain rod again behind. It's the equivalent of the new Boris's Duck Dynasty poster behind us here. That's cool, Sean said. I'm possibly too analytical. To me, it's either black or white. Gray doesn't exist in my narrative. See, to me, Sean, my whole world is gray. There's very few blacks and whites. There's very few people I've ever seen that are truly villains. Yeah, Doryland. There's very few people. You too, Kev. There's very few people. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
That are truly billions, and there's very few people that are truly saints on here. But I did decide in Untwisting the Pretzel this week that when people make claims about this person did this or this person said this or, you know, I'm probably going to have to change my number today. You know, where you wake up this morning and even though the you know, the volume and everything's turned down, it's muted, there's still 67 phone calls from Harry and David's Fruit Emporium and Greenfield West, condo development, and, you know.
Have a good day, Pam.
People just do crazy stuff. Good morning, Tom. You just can't control what people do. Thank you, Joe Town. Okay, Kitten Cat said that's probably where you and I differ. I also believe in the power of the public censor. You do not. I do, Kitten Cat, but I've rarely seen a case where public censure is effective on YouTube. I've seen people take sides of e-begging versus non-e-begging, and I saw this guy, Nomadic Fanatic, who was really a nobody. I mean, I don't use the term nobody in the sense that he's not a worthwhile person. But this is a guy I sat on panel with on Drury's RV Hangouts on multiple occasions, still exchange email occasionally with him. But a guy whose channel was blown up from about 12,000 subscribers to 80,000 subscribers in a period of 3 months just because of public censure. When Jimmy Rance led the troops over the cavalry over the hill to fight e-begging. And all the public censure succeeded in doing was exploding his channel and doing quite the opposite of what public censure wanted to do to this guy. I watched something amazing unfold. I'm going to grab a refill of coffee. Well, I hear you, Sean the Brit. Yeah, I mean, we could argue that. It's not something that I follow, but I'm not unfriendly to the person.
What am I up to, Chris? At the moment, I'm just drinking coffee, and when we're done with the hangout, I'm going to eat breakfast. And it looks like we will have actually rain today, so not sure what I'm going to do. No, we got real coffee in the coffee maker. Thank you, Tom. We had yesterday actually really nice weather, as you probably know, Chris. And I did go out in the backyard and get rid of all the branches and stuff from the tree, from the persimmon tree, and got it all cleaned up.
Tom said, looking good, Jen. I will just, okay, Vicky, appreciate that. I will be baking tonight, maybe bikinied up, I don't know, but we have a lot of lemons. I'm going to be making another. I really have a taste for a lemon meringue pie, so I'll be doing some baking tonight. I hope you guys will join us. We may do Friday night restaurant reviews, kind of get back on track and do some other content too here, but I'll have some fun tonight. I would like to do some drinking. I'm allowed to drink again. I really don't need much in the way of pain medicines. I haven't taken any this morning at all, and that'll be a good thing. I've got so many lemon meringue, so many lemons out there. I've got to continue to use the lemon. So tonight I'll be doing that. But continuing on, you know, Kitten Cat's one of those people that's had a lot to say here on YouTube, and a very fascinating person to me. And
brewery went under. That's the new place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have hardly any business from the get-go.
Yeah, I hope you're there tonight. It's 8 p.m. on the West Coast, 11 p.m. on the East Coast. Sean said, I don't want to argue with you about it, Rosie. You've made your choices loud and clear. You're an adult and are, and we'll deal with it when these two go off the rails. See, but I'm not responsible for their behavior. You know, that's the thing. A lot of people like to come along and they'll say in the morning, hey, Rosie, did you see what Elvis did last night? Or did you see what Bergs did? There's your creation. And no, I don't put words in these guys' heads. You know, I don't, you know, I'm not the kind of person if A does B and you're friends with C, and I don't automatically get tagged with that. It's just the way that they do things. Do you want some more coffee? I guess so. Here we go. We can't keep playing this association game. You know, like I said, it becomes like a game of Twister. We try to accommodate everybody, and then we end up just making ourselves miserable. It's got on my feet. Oh, I know, Sean the Brit. I know. It's like when Bergs trashes you on your own platform. I guess I tend to look beyond what people say and what's going on inside of their minds. I really don't have any misery, Alan. You know, I'm very happy on here, but I'm untwisted the pretzel this week. Meaning that I will no longer just take claims for people that claim this, or this person is this person is that person, this person did this to me. From now on, I just decided if you have real tangible proof of that happening, that's one thing. But I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not a judge or a jury here on YouTube. But if you insist on forcing the issue, then I will say, show me the proof. Prove to me that this person is who you say it is. Prove to me that the person that did these horrible things to you is actually this person. Because what we get in here, oh, okay. Well, let me, yeah. I'm saying Kitten Cat. I think a lot of times, Kitten Cat, that your analysis of things is really spot on. But I think a lot of that activity ends up being counterproductive to what you really hope to achieve, which is to take somebody like Elvis, to use an example, and there are some people who would love to marginalize me on YouTube. And what it actually does is bring more attention and more notoriety to them, and it stimulates more people to have interest to see what Elvis or Rosie or somebody's talking about on, or what they're doing on YouTube. I think most everybody would agree with that unfortunately on YouTube, as opposed to real life, negative attention is sometimes a big draw for people. I'm not shocked. I don't know, Kitten Cat. I've shocked you so many fucking times over the years. I'm surprised you still have any fur on your body, to tell you the honest God's truth. You know, after what the horrors that you've seen down here. People on YouTube love a good train wreck. And it's very viewable. You know, all waiting for the day when Rosie gets her comeuppance, or the Bergs, or Elvis, or Drury, all these people out here. What actually happens is that more people come along and are engaged in the show. So in Untwisting the Pretzel this year, I just decided for 2019, I talked it over with Missy Jenn, because it was a pretty miserable week this week. And just thought to myself, and you know, we really need to have proof of what people. We may never have that on YouTube, proof. But you'll see, last night was a stand-up moment for me. When one of my friends was being called out and material from one of my own hangouts from 1.5 years was being used. And there were claims against this person. I stood up for that. And said it doesn't matter what you ever put out there. I go by the relationship that I've had with this person, and it's been a good one. And I wouldn't really care at the end of the day, because YouTube is a fantasy land. And after almost 7 hours on a hangout of drinking continuously, I don't give a shit if somebody tells me they were an astronaut in the Russian space program and landed on the dark side of the moon. I don't give a shit.
Oh, you must be Chinese. They just did it.
But we're going to try to encapsulate it and nail that person. Well, I'm sorry. That little bit of bravado, which may or may not be true, is not enough to deleverage my whole relationship with that person. So all the ski-wees in the world and all their assertions and all of their hate speech and all their continuous attempts to drive wedges into communities, it ain't gonna be happening in my world. Morning, Mo. And that's the way I feel about that. And I was glad I did it last night, too. I want to thank a lot of people that have reached out here on YouTube over the last week. I had elective surgery, which means I chose to have it. And some people bombed me with negative mail. Rosie, you come on and whine and bitch about how you feel. I haven't done a lot of whining about how I feel this week. But for those of you who have chosen to be positive and supportive and kind, thank you for that this week. It's always nice when somebody says, hey, I'm thinking about you and I hope you're doing good. Let's see, Kid Cats out. Rosie, I don't think you can be expected to remember everything said on your hangouts. The point, though, is that for people who say they're pursuing liars on YouTube, they have much to work with. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Jordan Blue. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, I think you got to be careful what you say.
Are you still living where you were, Alan? Because
he got our card.
We didn't send one this year because I didn't know.
I thought we did. I don't know.
No, he did say the last year he got a card. I didn't. We didn't send one this year because we didn't know if you were still around. I hadn't heard nothing for so long.
I think that's coming, Sean.
So if you can, so you're still there. So
I think a lot of channels have been lacking.
I might send you a belated one.
I would say actually virtually every channel has been lacking that for the last week. You know, some people seek it out. Some people seek out misery. Other people have it thrust upon them. So untwisting the pretzel to me means basically just my relationship with you one-on-one and no longer being entangled with what other situations, positive or negative, that you have with other people. And I think that gives a lot of clarification for 2019. I cleared the books on the hangouts. There's some people that may not come back to my hangouts again. That'll be their choice, and I respect them for that. You know, but there comes a point where the pretzel gets so twisted up that the whole game of Twister, the whole chessboard just collapses. And before you know it, you find yourself just strangulated and you can't make a move towards positive activity
Well, Snickerdoodle, we did send you a card.
Because the, well, she'll have to double check the
We did.
Snickerdoodle.
I know for a fact that we sent you.
Good morning, Dave.
I know for a fact that we sent you a card. I know that for a fact. Should be. If you didn't get it yet, it should be still on the way.
Got some good pretzels at Dollar Tree.
We just now, yesterday, got 2 cards that were just now yesterday delivered, so it should be still on the way.
We sent it. I signed it off.
I know.
I wrote you something really dirty on there.
I know for a fact. Hi, Dave. And
I'm thinking Jordan Blue's actually a writer for Comedy Central in Hollywood. And just comes masquerading as a musician in the Ozarks somewhere down there. Why don't you come out and fess up today, Jordan Blue?
I wrote the envelopes with the addresses. I guarantee.
Hello, Rosie O'Bulge. Good morning to you.
There was a card out to you.
I think Koopy will be around this weekend. He'll definitely be on tomorrow night. I'll definitely be over there for the hangout. I look forward to that. But I just said this year, I just cannot, if somebody's, making a decision, if somebody's coming through town to meet them or not to meet them. And I was really sorry that JoJo chose not to meet Dave for whatever reason. JoJo may have a perfectly valid reason. I had a good time hanging with JoJo in Panama. I thought he was a very articulate, very polished sort of person. I can't explain what people do. Whiskey OG met Dave, and I think he's better for the experience of having that bond in real life and looking at somebody in the eye and assessing them and kind of checking them out and seeing how they interact and seeing how they interact with. He interacts with Becca and trying to get a fix on people that you'll never get on YouTube. I don't regret that. But I can promise you one thing. If Dave ever did anything directly to hurt Missy Jenn or to to cause us a lot of pain or grief, I would block and remove Dave, and he would do the same for me on his channel if I had a knockdown, drag out, and just had it out with him one-on-one. He would rip me out of his channel stream, and that's the way I think YouTube should work. People have to be free to pursue their own relationship with people.
Happy New Year, Ava.
Hey, Ava, Happy New Year to you.
I'm still waiting for
Snicker, I remember writing your, damn. Well, I think we're going to separately pursue that with your address, okay? We'll figure out what went on. We sent 600 cards sometimes. It's not perfect on here.
Cassidy says she just received a lost package in a card today. I'm still waiting for a box that I'm supposed to get from overseas for Christmas.
I understand that, Dave, and that's part of untwisting the pretzel. And I don't have a regret in the world of having met you. And I think Missy Jenn feels the same way of having met you in real life. And having a chance to talk to you and tell you how we feel about things. And, having come at it.
It was great.
It was really a good meetup.
It's great, yeah.
And then coming at it and just deciding I cannot no longer be a pretzel on the channel. If people have real proof about things, send it to me. Otherwise, I just can't. I cannot do conjecture anymore. Guessing. The old guess the troll game, and somebody did this. When I wake up and have 52 phone calls overnight on my phone, I don't have a lot of sympathy for people that whine about stuff people do after what my family members got hauled through over a 2-year period. Personal life, professional life, business life. Yeah, it makes me a little hard shell. Maybe it makes me too, like I feel like maybe lackadaisical because it's all been done. So I just think everybody else is tough. Let me fix this stupid camera. Cam keeps coming off. Use a 10-year-old desktop. Oh, we're going to be at Lambert's down there, Jordan. I wish that you would. I'm hoping that we'll be able to meet you. No cameras, no nothing. Just hanging out. So that's why a lot of times I think of people like Allie when she's talked about her negative experience on AOL is the root of why she wouldn't ever cam up and protect her privacy. Who can dispute that? Who can see a downside to that? When we cross over to the public side, all of a sudden we are public figures and we are out there. Yeah, that would be cool. And it can be disconcerting sometimes to be at a Walmart, right? Or at a restaurant, and then out of the blue somebody comes up, hey, I know you. Ain't you Rosie? It's like, uh-oh.
I don't think it's so terrible. It's no big deal. It's actually nice, I think.
There are several Lamberts. There's one when RB Debs was living down in Alabama down there for a while. There was a Lamberts in Alabama.
Yeah, there's a Lamberts down there by Branson.
The home of Trode Rolls.
In Missouri, by Branson down there in the Ozarks.
We'll be doing all that. I don't think Missy Jenn will be. She'll be, if I'm taking a place for a month or so. Thank you, Black Cat Lover. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Hashtag Black Cat Lover.
They throw the rolls at you and stuff like that.
Home of the thrown rolls. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Black Cat Lover. There's so many things that I want to do and see, but if I take a condominium for a month in Ocean City, Maryland, or Florida, that's the kind of thing that Missy Jenn, but she can't be on the road day in, day out doing that type of activity.
Rosie will live stream from across the USA.
Yeah, make sure how many milligrams? I think it's like a 500 milligram tablet once a day. It totally got rid of all my leg cramps and everything. Hello, ladies and gentlemen at the round table. Hey, UFO.
Hey, UFO. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, my friend. Yeah, everybody knows about Lambert. Yeah, Missy Jenn can stay in Jacksonville at Storyland. There you go. That's great. Crossing the U.S. in June to Tennessee. Hey, Mama Bear. Good morning to you.
Hello, Mama Bear.
It's going to be so nice. There's so many people that have said, Rosie, if you get a Class B or something,
yeah, you can
put it on, plug in on my driveway.
That's right.
Hang out. Man, isn't that cool? And I'm not bumming for that. I'm not angling for that, but I'm just saying that's really nice. And then they say, but don't ever put my ass on camera. You made your bed, Rosie. Going to San Diego in March. That's wonderful. Oh, you got your computer. That's cool. Okay, Mama Bear got her computer's having trouble getting it set up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time, Uber Goober. And it's just going to be continuous travel. A lot of live streaming, some edited content too. But it's going to be people. Roll into a city, roll into a town, hang out at the cafe a little bit and say, what's the story on this town?
Yeah,
What's the real, as Missy Jenn would say, what's really going on here?
Find the place and the people that are the...
Where's the haunted crap in this town?
That's right.
Where's the abandoned weird place?
Where did the shit show start?
Let me introduce me to the weirdest guy in town.
End? What happened here?
See what the hell's going on. I don't want to see no freaking...
What's really going on?
Everybody knows what the
That's
Grand
right.
Canyon looks like.
Even though the Grand Canyon has its secrets.
Everybody knows.
Its hidden places.
All these tourist spots. I'm not going to be the... I'm not going to be the 127th million YouTuber to bring you my take on the saguaro cactuses out in the middle of Arizona.
There you go. That town is haunted. There you go.
Mama Bear, that doesn't surprise me in the least. Marietta, Ohio, baby. The Stern Wheel Festival down there. Oh, I'd love to come to Myrtle Beach during Bike Week and pose on the back of somebody's freaking Harley. How cool would that be? Cassidy Hampton, if you have a Harley, I'm going to be riding on the bitch seat. Right in the back, right behind you. Boom. You have to come out here to the Hamptons. Kim Rasmussen, are you rich? When you say the Hamptons, I think of Ina Garten, all those rich cats out at the East Hamptons, out there on Long Island. Honey, I couldn't even, I'd love to come out to the Hamptons. I couldn't even afford to valet park the rig, okay? For $400, $500 a night in high season in the Hampton. Hey, Ina Garten, how you doing? I love you on the Food Network. Hey, Martha Stewart, how you doing, babe? Rosie O'Kelly, is that you? It's me. You want to come up to Turkey Hill and be in the kitchen and we'll roll out some cookies? No, Martha, let's talk about your jailbird days in West Virginia lockup, okay? Oh, well, have a good day. Okay. Kim says, I'm not rich, but I do live here on the eastern end of the island. It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful place. That's for sure. Good morning, Tide. It is a beautiful place. Eureka Springs is fantastic. Sturgis would be a blast. I would like to go to Fantasy Fest week in Key West. It's going to cost a lot of money, but it's going to be a lot of great content. I mean, could you imagine Elvis, Coates, and me down in Key West down there, and the Godfather, Mr. X, the ultimate shit show. Dory Lynn, all that place, all that stuff. Yeah, her friendship with Snoop Dogg, Martha Stewart. Weird. You never know who's gonna. You never know who's gonna befriend who. Go when the men are gone. All girls only. Okay, that's cool. Eureka Springs is supposed to be outstanding down there. There's that Hellraiser Cooper on there. Cooper, your fan club was here. Sandy said, we have a testicle festival in Missouri. I don't know what that is, a testicle festival, but it's something that I'll probably take the other interstate to avoid going to. I'm never going on a horse. You're never going to see me. You're never going to see me on a farm. You're never going to see me at a petting zoo.
Mountain oysters.
You're never going to see me near a cow, petting a rooster or whatever they do. Things or, you know, milking a goat.
Hey, you got to do it once. It's fun, milking goats.
I'd rather turn a corner in a street in Detroit and be facing four of the meanest mothers in town.
I used to milk the goats.
And hang around with a touch of goat or a chicken or a horse or anything like that.
Yeah, they hate being milked.
That's for damn sure. I'm gonna go get a refill. You okay for your coffee?
Yeah, I'm good.
One more cup here. Then we'll wrap this up this morning.
Yeah, you can eat all kinds of testicles. It's nutter butters. Have some of those big blue ones over there. They were kicked really hard. Hello, Michelle. How are you? Mwah. It's a cold and dreary morning in California. Well, it's almost now. I guess going towards, what is it? Yeah, it's still a morning. In California. Yeah, George, you're still tired.
Oh. Yeah, George is he enjoys his sleep. Enjoys his sleep. Anyway, guys, tonight I will be, I'm going kind of stir crazy. I want to get back to the regular routine here. Just like Sean said, get back to the yucks and the LOLs and hanging with friends and having a good time here on YouTube. They'll always be addressing things that are going on. I've tried to avoid doing that stuff for a lot of years, but now I'm going to be more engaged in opinions about things on YouTube. So tonight I'm going to go out and pick some lemons, do something different tonight, have a few beers. I have a taste for lemon meringue pie. Going to be knocking out one of them tonight. Going to have some fun, a few drinks. Yeah, the Uber Goober lady, so sorry for your loss. Much love to you. And probably do Friday night foodies. I also want to plug my friend Cooper for Saturday night chats, 10 p.m. on the East Coast, I believe. I think that's correct. Anyway, you'll see his dapper mug with his sunglasses and everything on. Looking like an attention whore on Saturday night, center stage. So make sure to check that out. Good morning, good evening, Harvey, I should say.
Harvey.
Come for the Elvis Festival.
Good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, it's
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to hanging out with you, Jordan Blue, and you can finally clock me upside my head like you probably always wanted to do. Sambo out and proud. People coming together on YouTube. Harvey, how you feeling these days? Key lime cheesecake. I don't think I've ever had that. Oh, your clocking days are over. Huh? I don't think I've ever had key lime cheesecake. I've had key lime pie. I don't know. I guess it was a little underwhelming. I mean, sometimes when a dish becomes too famous, like down in, you know, Key West, the key lime pie, then it becomes too institutionalized. They just start banging out huge quantities of it, and it kind of loses that that perfect, that homemade kind of touch to it. Hello, Echo Sun Clover. Yeah, you need fresh key limes. I would probably think so. And then after a while, when you start to knock out, I love a lemon pie. Lemon is just so sweet. Hey, Vanessa.
Hello, Vanessa.
Beautiful Vanessa in the house. there's just something so refreshing about the lemon flavor. So it's going to be nice to knock out a lemon meringue pie tonight. Do some drinking. Everybody's welcome. Oh, okay. We do a place called Shorty Smalls that has big ass chicken fried steak as big as your ass. How about that? Missy Jenn is down with that. She loves chicken fried steak. That stuff. She loves all that stuff. It's crazy, but I'm not sure what we'll be doing for Friday night fruities tonight, getting back on a regular schedule. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up now. I want to thank everybody for stopping by today. Support all the chats. Be a solid person. Be a stand-up person. But remember, at the end of it all,
stop the hate.
At the end of it all, you got to be yourself too, and you got to live your own life on YouTube, and you got to make your own decisions, good or bad, and live with them.
That's right.
As I'm sure my road forward will demonstrate coming up in the weeks ahead. So take care, Diamond, Sean, the Brit, Koopy, Uber Goober Lady, God bless you, and all the wonderful things that you do. Harvey, I'm glad you're feeling better. Hipster Heaven, put that bait on the hook, baby. Like a cold sore. All right, y'all take care. Have a good day. Woo.